Welcoming you to the Leela podcast, a place where you can discover all things Osho Leela. You'll get to meet the community, learn about community life, and listen in as we share about our upcoming events and workshops from the perspective of the facilitators and the attendees, supporting you to find your way to Leela.
Yeah, and so here we are at Leela, Ideas Brewing. Sanjula called forward this idea of the sacred feminine work is happening at Leela. There's just more kind of this energy. It's women, but it's not just women. It's everything. It's the feminine energy within all of us, which is just coming through, and it feels really important, as you've kind of already said, and to now be in this place where it's bringing forward people's gifts and opening up to possibilities. It just feels really magical. It feels really like on point and so needed, just like you've already said. And I'd love to hear a bit more about like your essence, the essence of what you're bringing within this workshop, weekend, gathering, whatever we want to call it. Because when you were talking to me about it the other day, I was just like, oh, that sounds wicked. That's so cool. So could you give us a bit of that?
I mean, one of the things we'll discover with our projects is our deep why. And my personal deep why is if everyone in the world, can you imagine this for 24 hours even? If everyone in the world was doing what they loved for 24 hours, just have a moment. They were doing what they love for 24 hours, everybody. It's a new world. We can't go back. It's like that 100th monkey business. We're talking 7 billion monkeys.
I've never heard that. You have to explain that.
Oh, so basically, when enough people do something, it's a new paradigm.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So my mission statement is that people do what they love. So there's this, one of my songs, Born to Be, let meaning make decision, trust your true ambition, create a world that sets you free. Combine your innate wisdom with passion and precision, do what you were born to be, because then it's easy if you're fueled by passion and your purpose and pleasure aren't rationed.
Love it.
So that's the mission statement. It's a
within a song.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So in that way, that weekend, and look, I work with men as well, but this is for women. And I suppose I work primarily a lot with women because I work in a way that helps them see that their purpose and their gifts are actually an act of service. We're like, but we're mothers and we're this and we're that, and we do things, we're sort of in self-denying our gifts a lot. But if I say, cool your jets on that, it's actually an act of service to do this, to step out of your humility and your saboteurs or the things that are holding you back, to be brave and bold, to be radically generous and serve in your purpose. And no more dicking about. Let's get to it.
No more dicking about. Let's get to it.
So, the arc of the work. Should I talk to the weekend and a little bit with the journey we're going to go on?
Yeah, please.
First night, because a lot of us have lots of ideas. So we're going to use a little bit of a family constellation model to start with, to see what ideas, because you might have like loads. You might have 3 leading the way going, no me, no me, no me. Or just 2, or maybe just the 1. But constellating them, just stepping on them and just seeing what has got the most legs. What has got the most fire. What has got the most flow or impetus, because you don't want to be giving everything you've got to a project that doesn't give back, because you'll run out of energy. Right? It's not gonna go well. So let's start with one that goes well, and then sometimes what happens is some of the others pimp on it later. Go, oh yeah, and branch out. And so what starts off as an arrow becomes a tree. But let's just start with the arrow. So we're going to start there, and that's very much getting clear on the first night of what, and we go through this guided journey of what project has legs, and it's going to give you. And the next day, a massive body of work where we do these things called the 5 bold moves.
Okay.
And we start in the morning, and it's very interactive. And I don't tell you what it's going to give you until the afternoon, because I want you to do it innocently and wholeheartedly, in sweet naivety or in innocence. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is drawing your project, painting your project, just making it. It could just be, you don't even have to be good at painting or drawing or anything, just, you can even imagine it, just get it down there visually, just get it down. The next thing, you do it as an opera. That might terrify some people. But it's going to be in a playful field of love. You can use gibberish. It's going to be really fun.
Okay.
It's really a playful thing to sort of unearth, like when you do opera, I'm not going to blow the speakers here, but I'm going to do it really loud, but you just really go from this, you can't do it from here, you've got to go, the rest of your body has to come into it. Then, 3rd bold move, stand-up comedy. She's already laughing.
I just love it because it's all of the things, some of which I've kind of like overcome, but these are core things, aren't they?
And you might be thinking, what the...
I'm not an artist, I'm not a singer.
I'm certainly not a comedian.
I'm not a comedian. What are you doing?
But honestly, it's so fun. A great example of that, this lady was doing digital detox for teenagers, a client I had in Australia, online. Digital detox.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, how can you take the piss out of your own project? It's just such a liberation and an important part for a process we do in the afternoon. You do also the chapters of your how-to book. Who's going to review it? All this sort of stuff. And it just gives you, I won't reveal too much, but it gives you, all of this gives you ridiculous content for your project. And the last one, how are you going to save the world with it? Right? How's it going to save the world? And the afternoon, then we unpack the treasure of what all that brings. And I think the important part of these moves is that you might have an idea for a project, I'm just going to do it. But what if you have a chance, like actors, right? Before they take a play out, they rehearse. Musicians, we rehearse before we perform.
Nice, yeah.
Often people don't rehearse.
Yeah.
And in the rehearsal process, we go, oh God, that's groovy, let's work on that a little bit more. Oh my God, look at that, we never knew. Before we take it out to the world.
Yeah.
So these 5 bold moves, it's a bit of that.
Nice.
And so my process, I was trained as a dancer, then an actor, then a musician. So I've got these creative processes that I'm bringing to this work. Then I trained as a family constellator and other therapist modalities that I'm also bringing to the work, because the other side of it is our saboteur. Right? And
I know that one very well.
do you? Got a name? No, but you know what I mean. Like, let's take, and I did a process with a woman recently where I said, what if you can bring that saboteur and bring them into your embrace? And then she showed me this picture of her driving to this challenging moment that she was doing with, as she decided that this saboteur was in this sort of statue she had at home, of sort of a voodoo statue or something, African statue. She had it strapped into the passenger seat and she was driving to the event with it. I was like, yeah.
Love it.
So how can we get our saboteurs, include them in our embrace, and actually get them on board? And so that's very much the sort of Saturday night piece of work. Yeah, we're going to be, so after we unearth this ridiculous treasure of what's going to serve our thing, then we tend the saboteur. We say, hey, why don't you, because they're busy, the saboteurs. I mean, they've got energy to burn. Let them get them on board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, gosh, when you say it like that, like thinking about all that energy that goes into that, if it was totally like, wow, yeah, you just totally just blow my mind of just like, oh my God, that's where the energy is. Yeah. That's where it is. Yeah. It's all hidden in that saboteur.
Yeah. So if we get the saboteur
on
in the team, shut the front door, then we're on board. And
love that. That's really like resonated in me, of just like, oh God, that's where the energy is hiding.
Well, quite a lot. It's robbing. It's robbing a lot, and it's taking a lot from the project. But let's include them in the team. And And one of those really, part of that process, I mean, there's a couple, I am using family constellations a lot, we're going to be using it in that process, but again, the next morning, we're going to be constellating, the project, the clients or your audience, and yourself. And just to see what they want from each other. Because we think we know, but we might be surprised. And that's what I say with constellation work. Just let yourself be surprised. Don't think you know. Let your body tell you. Get out of the story and let your body inform you. Yeah. Could give you an example. So one client was doing artwork. Now, the client didn't really care about her, or they might have gone into her story later on, but are they drawn to the artwork? So in her business model, she put the artwork forward, not her face, but it's she put herself forward. There was another client who was doing sort of sexual somatic work, had loads of courses that they'd done this, they'd done that, the other. Does the client need to know about all the different courses, or does the client need to know how safe she is? So then she put that as the front and center. I'm safe. You want to know more? I've done all this. But not lead with all of that, because that's all. Yeah. But I'm just safe. Keep it simple. So it tells you more than that, but that's the simplicity of what some of those processes will do. And
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm very excited because I'm going to be assisting on this workshop. So it means I get to get the magic, which is amazing. I'm super looking forward to it. So, yeah.
There's one more piece. Can I share?
Yeah, go for it. Oh, there's more. Sorry.
There's one more piece, is that we're doing it together. So when people work together collaboratively, say you've got a project that you've been sharing and we've been seeing you all weekend unearth more treasure at it. Are we getting excited about that for you?
Of course.
Oh my God, am I ever?
We don't have to do this alone, right?
No. And we're going, wow, check that out.
Yeah.
So by the time we get to Sunday afternoon where we sing up for each other's life and we sing the project into the world.
Beautiful.
Something I got from Wales, because when a whale was sick, they used to put the sick whale in the middle and sing them up.
Oh.
So, and this singing up our life, I tell you what, I've been doing it for years, and I was only in Totnes the other day, and she goes, I was told this lady, she used to go to my workshops, and she goes, that got me my van, that changed my life. And this other guy said, I've been singing that song for 15 years. I don't know the song that we made up for him, but he's been singing it every day for 15 years. I mean, you don't know the impact. So that Sunday afternoon, we're going to take turns in seeing you in your project and singing you up and singing the project into form. So we're going to be there like supersonic, sexy women, in our full generosity, singing you up and your project into the world.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And it's so, I can feel like, because when you bring in the voice, when you bring in the resonance, when you bring in the frequency of these things, this is how manifestations come through, right? So, superpower.
That's what they say, don't they? You need to feel the manifestation.
Totally.
Then the chemistry in your body can receive it. But if you're not ready, if you just say, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, but you can't feel it, chances of it happening are not as strong. So
Absolutely. All these little keys to manifestation, for sure. Wow, it sounds amazing, and I'm happy I'll be there. And I guess as well, like, there's a question of like, because I know that there'll be people out there and thinking, oh, is this for me or not? Like, am I at the right stage? And you're inviting people where it is just an idea, just a possibility.
Well, I think there's 3 people.
Yeah.
It's a person with an idea that wants to flesh it out and give it flesh to the bones of the idea and make it more real and more embodied. There's people that are not sure. I don't even know if I've got an idea. There's these things floating around, and even if they don't have an idea, they can go through the weekend with as a dummy run. And even if they don't have the idea, they can come to the weekend and use it as a dummy run to just go and just use this process. And it's a process you can do over and over. And the third person's already out there doing it, and their project needs some support.
Yeah.
And maybe some revisioning, and maybe they went out to the world without this dream time first, and it's feeling a little bit thin, or it's feeling harder. It needs a lot of mothering, parenting. So you don't need an idea. You can have an idea or lots, and you can have a project already out in the world.
Yeah.
And all those 3 people, 3 women will be able to get something, I think, quite a lot out of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like when you have like women coming together to do this, because a lot of people are like sitting at home, right? Like my business, when I had my online business, I did it all alone, you know, and I was doing these kind of like little free kind of challenges and stuff online, and just to be in a space where there's other women cheerleading you, and like I've got this whole thing around, you know, lone wolves. So many of us are these lone wolves, and it's like the coming together and the co-creation, and just energetically what that all, like stirring the witch's pot, isn't it, kind of thing. It's such a beautiful experience, and like you've got people who've got more experience and less experience, which then support each other. You know, fresh eyes. Yeah, been in it a long time and feeling a bit probably burnt out, and having kind of like, oh, I've done so many projects, nothing's happening with them, and it's like, what energy have you been doing that from, and where can you, you know, receive the support, you know, because we are really in this feminine journey as well. Receive the support so that you can flourish and you can grow, and there is, you know, there's so much around doing that together. So
and I think that's our journey as women. I think the journey of women is that we're so rooted to our mater. We're so, you know, programmed not to ask for help, to be, you know, lone wolves. It's like, when are we going to get over that? Generously, in service, to get over that in service. Like, what happens to the planet when women get together and collaborate? What do you think she thinks? Like, she's going, yeah, baby, I love it. Let's do more of that. That is going to raise the elevation of the world, you know. So we're not. It's that weekend in its own self is a prayer, not just for the individual people coming, but a prayer for the planet. That we're doing the good stuff.
Yeah, that is it. That is the giving, isn't it? The giving back. But...
Yeah.
Oh, I can feel tingles. Absolutely. Important work. Important work. Well, very much looking forward to it, Sukha Sama. Really looking forward to it. And just welcoming in any woman that resonates into this particular magical cauldron of creativity.